Hey, it's me again. I'm still on my way to work. I got stuck behind a school bus. And I wanted to do another segment on relationships and dating. Um, just to kind of, give you a little bit of the wisdom that I've gained through all of my missteps and miscommunications and, whew. But, so I wanted to kind of give some of you guys some advice on when you meet somebody. And I was just kind of laughing because I was listening to TD Jakes, and he was talking about people who have a big heart, and one of the signs, and it's not always a bad thing, but me, if you're gonna have a big heart, you also need to protect that heart. So, anyways, I want to tell you a story. I had met. It was when I was single. I had gotten separated. Me and my ex had been separated for a while, and I was out with my grandson, and I saw this girl. Now you know who you are. I saw her in Rite Aid, and she was cute, but her personality was just so cool because I'm friendly, and I like to talk to people, and I'm making jokes with the cashier, and she was making jokes with the cashier that she was with. We were in line, and she's telling jokes, and she was just really magnetic. She just had a great personality, great smile, and she was with her son. And I know it looked like Jaden. Jaden looks like he's my son, just because I don't look old, but he's my grandson. And so I'm watching her, and I'm thinking, I should ask her out. I've never asked, and I never have since then asked a girl out when I just met her, especially like in Rite Aid or something. So I'm watching her, and I'm trying to get my courage up, and so I think I'm being smooth. So I tell Jaden, I said, Jaden, go ask that girl for her phone number. And of course, Jaden doesn't want to work with me. He's like, I don't want to do that, Grandpa. And I'm like, oh, come on. And I'm bribing him, and I'm like, look, I'll take you to go get ice cream. Just go do this for me. So he walks over. Of course, he doesn't do it right. I don't know what he said, but she ends up laughing and smiling and still gives me the number. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. And it was really, really cool. And ends up calling me. I think she called me or texted me that same within a couple hours and said, look, I'm going to the park with my son. You want to meet us there? And it was just really kind of a cool kind of get together. And of course I'm nervous the whole time. So then, we get together the following day. Now, and this is where I kind of blew it. One of the things about me, and it's easy for me when I'm in counseling, is I had the bad habit of being intense. Okay, and I forget what I said, but basically, she got the picture that I was looking for the next Mrs. Singleton. And I don't know how that came out. My energy, I don't know what it was, but she picked up on it, and she's just like, look, that's not what I'm looking for. And it didn't matter how I backpedaled, she was just like, no. I mean, I barely managed to keep the friendship, because I thought, if we just stayed friends, I'll be able to still get in there, and, she was like, no. But my problem was, my advice I'm trying to give you guys is enjoy the process of getting to know somebody. Stop trying to get to your destination and enjoy the journey. I can't tell you how many times, and it was born out of pure desperation, okay? Pure desperation. And I didn't even realize, I didn't even realize I was doing that. But when I look back at all the dates I've had in my past, I can see how I pretty much scared people off. because I would get too intense. I was too, I don't know, the energy was just too, I didn't want to take the time to get to know them, to be friends. I wanted to skip that part and get into the commitment, you know. And I know I'm probably not explaining it right. Only the people I've dated kind of know. Well, I'm sure you guys will be like, yeah, Will was like that. But enjoy, and it doesn't, and look, I don't care how old you are or how young you are, take your time. If you take your time in dating, you will be able to filter out the fakes, okay? The ones that aren't a good match, you'll be able to filter them out, and you can't, and you shouldn't date if you're desperate, okay? Because when you're desperate, and only you can judge that for yourself. You have to judge your own level of desperation. Because if you go into it like that, you can't successfully and objectively interview a potential. It's like you have a business, and whoever walks in the door, you're hired. I mean, can you imagine the chaos that would happen on the job site? You don't look at their resume, you don't talk to their references, you don't look at their education or their past experience. They walk in and smile, and you're like, you're hired. No. When it comes to relationships, that needs to be an ongoing interview process until we say I do. Okay? Look, my one counselor, when me and my ex were going to counseling, and we eventually, it didn't work and we split up, I was still going to counseling, and her name, Joel Vanini, at Bridge Counseling. She's really, really great. But she had told me that it takes an average of 3 years to really get to know someone. Because by the third year, that person has dropped all their pretenses and everything, and you get to see the real person and who they are. So you're not going to get it in 2 weeks, okay? You're not going to get it in 3 months. I don't care how many questions you ask. Some things require time. You know, now some of us, you know, like I was blessed. You know, I got married very quickly, but the reason for that was because she came from some very good references. I mean, the main reference was my pastor. They practically grew up together, and he told me, look, you know, she may be a little crazy, but she's good. She's good people. And he was right, you know, and I knew I couldn't pick my own spouse. I knew I couldn't pick my own partner anymore, because I was just so broken, you know. So recognize that yourself, and look, if you have good friends, I'd let them be part of the interview process, because I can safely say that if I would have allowed my first wife to really truly meet my friends and let them interview her, we probably wouldn't have got married. You know, and it's not that she's a bad person, it's just that we really weren't a good fit. We just weren't. But like I'm saying, I was desperate. I was desperate, I was lonely, I was broken. I was really, really broken. So that's just what I'm saying. You know, when you're dating, take your time, get to know the person, enjoy the dates. Enjoy the dates. Please, please, please. Look, I love sex too. Don't jump in the bed. Once you jump in the bed, the interview process is over and you're hired. And I'm telling you, man, that's the worst. That's the worst interview. You know, if you're basing it on sex, I mean, come on. I mean, and look, I know from some of us who have been around the block a couple times, we know, you know, people who really do it for us and people who are just kind of eh. But you know what? Everybody knows how to have sex. Okay, whether they know how to do it well, it doesn't matter. Because when you're so desperate, you know, I mean, I've met some women in counseling that have put up with some stuff because they were lonely and they were just like, look, and you guys know, you guys have heard stories and of women who haven't had ever had an orgasm or ever felt intimate or a connection in the bedroom, but they stayed with their husband for 20 years. So sex is the worst qualifier, okay? It is the worst. So please don't jump in the bedroom. Take your time and get to know that person, get to know their mind, get to know their heart, get to know their dreams, their goals, their soul, their faith, how they want to parent, and then get to know their family and friends, okay? Enjoy getting to know that person. I mean, with all the people that I've dated, I never regretted anybody I dated, never. Not even my ex, okay? Because I also got to meet her family, and she's got a phenomenal family, and I love them all, still. But even all the people that I've dated that it didn't work out, I mean, the one lady I met at Rite Aid, I mean, she is a great friend, and I enjoy her. I enjoy her a lot, and we still talk, and she gives me a lot of advice, and she's just good people. And I wouldn't have gotten to know that if I was just looking for the bam, looking for the wham bam. I'm not talking about my wife. If I was just looking for someone to just fill that void, because when we do that, we miss all the magic of getting to know someone. So, that's my advice on dating, guys. Take your time, and just go out. Just go out. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Love you.